Alright, welcome back, fight fans, to another live stream, a watch and score live stream with myself and currently Alex Big Fish Vega. He's on the call, he'll be joining me in a minute. Sorry for the delay, we had a couple of technical issues getting set up. YouTube didn't want to let us stream for a few minutes there, but we are through that now and hopefully onto a fun and interactive live stream. Josh will hopefully be joining us at some point. He might jump in on the call as we make our way through the stream. So, as I mentioned earlier, we have Alex Big Fish Vega on the call. How are you, Alex? Say hello. How are you doing?
Good day to all, man. Doing very well, and once again, back at it, and looking forward to speaking about what's happened in boxing the last couple weeks.
Absolutely, and we have actually got quite a lot to get through. It might be quite a long live stream this week, so hopefully you've had enough sleep and you are ready to talk boxing for a while. We have got quite a lot to get through, so let's actually get straight into it, because we can touch on a couple of news items that came in since we last spoke, and we'll just be very brief about this because we'll talk about it in the future. And it's just to touch on it because we had discussed in previous live streams about Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. We was discussing this last time and saying how we didn't really want to see it and how unlikely it might have been, but then money talks, and so it comes to fruition that they have now decided that that is going to go ahead. They've agreed terms, they've agreed a date. I think it's sometime in October. So yeah, they're going to get that fight on. Are you a bit more excited about it now it's been confirmed, Alex?
Absolutely. It's funny how that works, you know. It's like a rumor. We spit on it. We say we don't want that, and then once a press conference happens, we see the two fighters in front of each other. Excitement builds, and that's what big time boxing is. Whether you think it's the top level, it doesn't matter. The best of the best. Sometimes it's just about two guys getting the juices flowing. And yes, it has gotten my attention. I'm interested in every detail that's happening when it comes to the rehydration clause, everything that goes into this specific fight. The size difference, who's going to be training Chris Eubanks, where's his father, all that. I'm tuning in. So yes, they're doing a great job promoting this event.
I hope they've reported him as a missing person by now if no one's actually heard from him. That's a little bit of a weird one, but surely he's got WhatsApp or whatever, and he knows where his dad is, really. Anyway, just wanted to touch on that as we discussed that previously. We'll talk a lot more about that as the fight approaches in future live streams. The other thing I wanted to touch on was Tyson Fury always making noises when there is another big heavyweight fight coming along, and he's been retiring and unretiring and calling out people and calling out Derek Chisora, and then after that a day later retired again. Just wanted to touch on that one. Have you got any thoughts about Tyson Fury? He's also been making noises after last night, obviously, but yeah, did you see this, him calling out Derek Chisora and then retiring the next day?
Man, I am so glad that is not going to happen, because yes, when that first started appearing on my Twitter timeline, I just couldn't believe it. I said, okay, he's just up to some shenanigans, and that's what it turned out to be. But yeah, he retired. He comes out of retirement. He says Chisora's asking for too much money. He goes to Iceland, right? To look, to seek out Thor for an exhibition fight. Yeah. Retires, and then with last night, now he's saying he's coming back and to get that check ready.
Get that check ready, indeed. That's what it's all about, isn't it? At the end of the day. All right, you might have heard there that Josh has just jumped into the call. You're a little bit late, not to worry, Josh. How are you doing, mate? You okay? Are you there? You are muted currently if you're trying to talk to us.
Sorry, yeah. Hey, what's going on? The Fight Night Scores Vega. Happy to see you guys. My apologies. Yeah, time kind of, I got it sort of inversed in some sense. But hey, I'm here now. Glad to be chatting with you.
Hey, no problem. I know it's always tricky for you American folk that don't know which way round time goes compared to us in the UK. I always found that.
Indeed.
Anyway, you're here now, that's all that matters. It's good to have you on board. We're just quickly recapping on a couple of news items. We're going to go through to the actual fights that have occurred over the last couple of weekends since our last live stream. We can just touch on that. I was saying earlier, Josh, that this is probably going to be a slightly longer stream because of obviously this huge fight that happened last night and talking points going forward. So last weekend there was just really the one fight of any note, which was Teofimo Lopez winning against Pedro Campa. That was a good showing from all accounts. I didn't see it myself. Something of the old Teofimo back. Alex, did you get a glimpse of this? Let us know your thoughts on Teofimo.
Yes, it was an interesting approach I felt that Teofimo had in this fight. He was looking to punch within Campa's shots. Everyone was wondering, how's he going to be? Can he be composed still since, everything that was happening outside the ring, things that he said, things we have seen, just him moving around once the camera's in front of him. And I think he looked good. I think he said he was about a B-. He would grade that performance, and I will second that. Like I said, he was doing a lot of catching and shooting. He moved well. Campa was a lot bigger than I anticipated. He definitely looked like, all that 5'10" that he's listed as. But let's see what happens. These belts with Josh Taylor seems to be falling off of him. As it goes. They say he's supposed to fight Catterall, and he has now dropped his third belt with the IBF. So let's see where will Teofimo fall into when it comes to this title picture in the upcoming fights.
Yeah, definitely. From all accounts, he was looking good, and it will be interesting to see, how he competes with those other guys up at the super lightweight division, I think it was. Josh, did you catch that? What did you think?
Yes, I was able to catch it. I share the same sentiments as Vega. I thought that Teofimo, he did what he had to do. I think this was on the right track for him as far as getting his mindset right after rocky year and a half, year plus, whatever it may be. And he did what he had to do. And now it's just a matter of what's next for him, because there are a lot of big names there at 140 pounds, and he adds to the mix. And I think that if he definitely is intent on getting to a title, then he's going to have to take on some pretty solid guys there. And as long as he's mentally right, and he gets, I'm sure he'll have the physical part down, then I think, the sky's the limit. But at the very least, he makes for a ton of very interesting matchups just overall with his addition to the division.
Yeah, very, very good. Just a quick look into the chat room and see that Boz has joined us again. It's good to have you on board, Boz. And you could hear my dog barking in the background. She's seeing some people outside, just letting them know who's boss. Hopefully she shuts up. Okay, cool. I think we should move on. That was last weekend's action. It wasn't really. Was there anything else you wanted to discuss actually on the undercard there, boys? I know Xander Zayas was in action and he got another win. Alex, just want to touch on any of the other fights there?
Yeah, sure. With Xander, I am Puerto Rican. He's Puerto Rican.
Mm-hmm.
He's seen as probably the best fighter out of Puerto Rico currently.
Yeah.
I guess you could throw in Edgar Berlanga as well. I would disagree at this moment, but he came with a very aggressive approach. Definitely seemed once that bell rang, he wanted to get his opponent out of there, and that's what he did. He did take a little bit of return fire, but fighting that type of style, that is what you expect. You're making yourself more hittable to go ahead, walk a guy down, sit on your punches, and get him out. And the result was good. So let's see what Xander can do. I think he's still a prospect. I think he yelled that in the camera afterwards as well. I'm the best prospect in boxing. And I think a couple more fights within 2 years. Hopefully we're getting to that title contention.
Yeah, you got anything to add to that, Josh? I know that he's still a young lad, but he's very highly touted. I know a lot of people are big on him over in the States.
Yeah, and I'll just say that, yeah, I think that Xander, or put that down, Xander is certainly probably the most promising of the young fighters out there from Puerto Rico, and he seems to be getting better and better each time that I see him. So he's definitely one of, if not the top prospect out there right now, and I look forward to seeing him more because I think his growth is just going to continue to excel. And world titles in the future at some point.
Yeah. Cool. All right, well, let's move things along. We've got a lot to cover. So let's go on to the main event from yesterday, or last night, not over in the UK, sorry, what am I talking about? It was in Saudi Arabia. It was Joshua versus Usyk, the rematch. We had quite a bit of controversy, I guess. The scoring was kind of out of whack, I'd say, especially just the one scorecard anyway. But ultimately, Usyk got the decision. It was a split decision. Probably should have been a unanimous. He retains all his titles that he beat Joshua for previously. Joshua had some kind of mental breakdown after the fight and all sorts of bizarreness going on. Josh, I'll come to you. Have you managed to see the fight? Hopefully you have done, because I've not checked beforehand. But what did you make of the main bout from last night?
Hey, yes, I was able to catch it. I caught all of that action, and man, Alexander Usyk, I just have to say bravo, congrats, because I felt that he was going to come back into this fight a bit stronger, better, and more ready this time around, because he just seems to have that type of mentality and makeup. And to Joshua's credit, he came out and he looked like he improved somewhat. He had some moments there in the fight where he looked to be the dominant heavyweight, the Joshua that we expected him to be. And he was using his offense to dictate such. But in the end, I think this was an example of how ultimately skills pay bills. You know, boxing sometimes looks can be deceiving, and if you seeing Joshua, especially from a casual perspective, you'd probably think that a guy like Usyk coming up from cruiserweight wouldn't have much of a chance, but ultimately Usyk has proved to be one of the best boxers in the sport, period. He's been pound for pound ranked for a long period now, and he's definitely knocking on the door of number one, and by some instances or cases, he is number one in some people's eyes as well. So I think this just further proves that, and the sky's the limit for Usyk. It's just a matter of whether he gets that opportunity to become undisputed. And I did think that Joshua, on the other hand, he gave it his all, and it's like that sometimes. As far as, hey, there's always someone out there who could potentially beat you, and this was the case. Usyk has been a better man. As they say, if you stick around long enough, you fight long enough against high-level competition, you'll eventually lose to someone. And I think this is just the case. Joshua has done pretty good thus far with what he's been able to accomplish in such a short period. But Usyk, in a sense, has his number, just as Tyson Fury has Deontay Wilder's number. So maybe we'll get some clarity here at heavyweight.
Yeah, Alex, we'll come to you on that. Do you think that Usyk will go on to fight Fury? We were touching on it just before Josh came back onto the call, that Fury, obviously, he needs to keep himself in the limelight and get some attention. He was posting on Twitter and Instagram and wherever that, let's get that fight on. He's been calling Usyk a jumped up middleweight and things like that in the past. It's the big fight that we need, don't we? And boxing needs, because obviously heavyweights are the stellar division. Everyone's interested in the heavyweights. We need to unify all of those titles. Even though Fury did say he was retired, clearly it isn't going to be the case. He'll make a lot of money in the Usyk fight. He'll also then make a lot of money in a Joshua fight if he were to face Joshua after that. And it has to happen, doesn't it? Give us your thoughts on the prospect of that fight, who you think would win, and also on Usyk's performance last night, Alex?
Yes, Tyson Fury is still seen retired, not retired. 3 retirements, 3 coming back from retirements. Number 1 heavyweight in the world, and yes, heavyweights, like you said, they are the big bad dudes in boxing. When we have 2 great heavyweights in boxing, it makes for a healthy following. It makes headlines. It seems like the world stops when we get two big heavyweights in there throwing down. So with Usyk winning once again, how could you not want to see him against Fury? 6'8", 280 pounds or 60 pounds, whatever he does, he'll balloon up in weight, come a little more slender. This guy Tyson Fury is just amazing to watch. You never know what he's gonna do. Yesterday he says he's come out of retirement. In 2 days he may say no, never mind, I don't want to fight anymore. And then next thing we know, we'll have a big fight announced. They'll be making loads of money. Everybody in the world will be talking about it. So hopefully we can get it made. Hopefully whatever Tyson Fury wants, they give it to him, and we get these 2 guys in. I mean, with what happened last night, Joshua still came out robotic to me. How 6'9". Sorry, Boz. But I love the body attack. But Usyk was just too good for him. He was being able to control him with his lead hand. Landing up jabs. Moving around the ring gracefully. Man, I was screaming at the TV, just Joshua, please go to the body. But you got to give it to AJ. You can tell he really let it all hang out there. He pressed forward, and he tried his best. I mean, we saw it after the fight. He was highly upset, threw the belts out the ring, yelled at somebody, stormed out, came back in, and then went on a I'm trying to be respectful, but a little bit of a strange rant once he got that mic. But I definitely want to see AJ back, and I'm gonna keep with the same energy. Give me Wilder, AJ, please and thank you.
Yeah, we'll come on to that as well, definitely. I'll just to make a couple of points on that as well. I think, like you said, Joshua I thought he fought a good fight, and I think he was improved from the first fight. And to be honest, I thought he would have come out of this fight with, his reputation wasn't damaged as such, because of his performance was actually very good, and he pushed Usyk. He did some damage to him in that 9th round, I think it was. But Usyk has just proven time and again why he's one of the greatest boxers currently, possibly over the last few generations. And there's no shame in that. Losing to the better man. It was unfortunate that after the fight happenings has kind of tarnished things a little bit, but really AJ's performance was good, and it shows that he could make some adjustments and improvements from the previous fight, when people thought that maybe he'd already kind of hit a peak. Maybe that's not quite the case. He's still kind of one of the best of the rest. Maybe there is a question against Wilder who wins, and that's why that fight would be amazing to see and make, and hopefully we might get that down the line. But yeah, just his actions after the bout was very bizarre, like we've touched on. It looked like he was accepting of the result at first, and he was posing with the Ukrainian flag, and then it just seems like he turned all of a sudden, and that's when the issue with the belts, where he kind of threw them around, and it looked like he was just going off in a huff and sulking to the back, and then he decided, no, actually I'm going to go back to the ring. And I think he was trying to be dignified and pay Usyk kind of backhanded compliments when he was in there talking to him, but it just kind of came across as ranty and getting in his face a bit and a bit disrespectful, and I don't think that was the intention, to be honest. But obviously it was highly emotional at the time. But yeah, he kind of ended up going on a little bit on the microphone like a drunken uncle at a wedding. And it was a little bit embarrassing by the end of it. I've actually just noticed as we've come on the stream there that he's put out a couple of tweets Joshua. So I'm just going to read these out before we move on. It says, I wish Usyk continued success in your quest for greatness. You're a class act champ. Yesterday I had to mentally take myself into a dark place to complete for the championship belts. I had 2 fights, one with Usyk, one with my emotions, and both got the better of me. I'll be the first to admit I let myself down. I acted out of pure passion and emotion, and when not controlled it ain't great. I love the sport so much, and I'll be better from this point on. Respect. So I guess that's good to see. That was posted like literally 20 minutes ago. He's obviously had a kind of a bit of a word with himself and is making some good noises there. But yeah, like I said, I don't think he did anything out of spite or to be disrespectful. It was just all highly charged emotion that was just got the better of him at the time. And hopefully, you know, it doesn't gloss over his decent performance in there. And we'd originally touched on what might happen after the fight if Joshua was to lose again in our last live stream. And I kind of touched on, does he retire? Does his pride take such a hit that he just wants to retire now he's lost again? But hopefully, you know, it sounds like he wants to come back even stronger from that tweet, and there's still some really good fights for him out there. And as we touched on, you know, to see him in against Wilder would be amazing. Would there be any of that? Might be like difficult to make, or one to go to get made a bit further down the line, and he'd probably want to have a bit of an easier comeback fight before then. Josh, I'll throw it to you. Do you think that there's anyone that kind of stands out name-wise that might be a good next opponent for AJ?
Yeah. Of course, the fight I want to see, as Vega mentioned as well, is him versus Wilder. I don't think that one would happen first. And they're probably going to want to get him back in winning form more than anything. So I could see him being in there with the likes of, say, maybe Derek Chisora to get back to his winning ways. That would be a good one. Derek Chisora, but I know they're friends and all, but maybe that's one Chisora's looking for. A big payday. That would be an opportunity as such. I think Chisora is tough enough for being able to provide a good fight for him, and it's a fight that AJ can certainly win. I think somewhere along those lines is probably where they'll go. But certainly, the one I wanted to see for a while is him versus Wilder. And with Wilder fighting here soon, the stars could align at some point, maybe in 2023.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fingers crossed. Hopefully that does happen. It has to happen. It's like we said last time, it's still the most explosive fight out there. It'd be really good to get that one on. Okay, just have a quick look in the chat there. Baz was saying that doesn't like Joshua, used to kind of like him, but he's shown himself as an egomaniacal jerk. That was a tongue twister for me. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think Joshua has, for the past 10 years, been surrounded by yes men and people telling him how great he is, and he's kind of, up until the last couple of years, he always had everything his way. He always got the wins. And he's always had a lot of pressure on him. You know, he's got a lot of sponsors and he's the face of the sport, especially in the UK. And yeah, you know, as an Olympic gold medalist, that's the kind of pressure and praise that gets heaped on you, and he's had to deal with it for a long time. And I think it all kind of came to a bit of an eruption last night at the end of that fight. But you know, it's a highly charged situation. Hopefully we can move on and past it, and we see him in with some more great fights in the future. Let's discuss some of the undercard then of last night, because it was quite a stacked card. It went on for absolutely hours. Callum Smith was in one of them fights. He looked good again at light heavyweight. Light heavyweight, moving up from super middle was last time out, I think. He got a stoppage, 4th round, against Mathieu Bordelic, I think his name is pronounced, the Frenchman, as we called him last time out. I thought that this was just going to be an absolute knockover, walk in the park. But Bodlik, he did put up a good bit of resistance early on, and it was a bit of a firefight until he just couldn't deal with Callum Smith's power in that 4th round. I think you said you saw this fight, Alex. Give us your assessment of Callum Smith. He's looking pretty good at light heavyweight, isn't he?
Yes, definitely looking very strong. Like you said, I thought it was going to be a walkover as well, but the Frenchman was game. He came, he was throwing nice hard punches, but he just couldn't stand up to the strength, the size, the power of Callum Smith. It seems that Callum has really focused in on Beterbiev. If they were to match up, I would favor Beterbiev, but Callum Smith, definitely a puncher's chance. And we'll see what happens with Beterbiev, having to delay his fight with Yard due to a rib injury. If him and Smith match up, and when. So, yeah.
Josh, have you got any thoughts to add to that on Callum Smith?
Yeah, I'm just in agreement. I think Callum Smith looks good. I'd like to definitely see him again moving forward. And he's looking like I expected him to look when he fought Canelo a while back. So I think he's going to be very comfortable at this weight. And I give it up to the French guy. I thought he put up a heck of a fight as well. And I'd like to see him again.
Yeah, he did. He made a good fight of it, to be fair to him. It was a good fight and a good win for Callum Smith. I think he is in line to face Beterbiev, and that is a dangerous fight. I don't give anyone a chance against Beterbiev personally, but it could be interesting. But there are some other good fights, especially domestically for Callum Smith, and we briefly mentioned that on the last live stream when we were previewing this fight. I would really like to see him in against Anthony Yard, for instance. That could be a good fight, or even Joshua Buatsi. So there's plenty of decent fights at that weight division that to keep an eye on. Also then on that undercard, the main co-event as they call it, heavyweight action, Filip Hrgovic against Zhang. Didn't expect this one to kind of go to the end, and I actually put it out there to you both that I was predicting stoppages for both Usyk and Hrgovic, both late on in both of their fights. Didn't quite pan out that way, unfortunately. And I don't really know what to make of this fight. I think I scored it just to Zhang, and I know that a lot of fans were split on the Fight Night Scores app. I think Hrgovic ended up being the winner on the average scorecard. We'll take a look at that in a minute. But yeah, what did you make of this one? Josh, go for it if you've seen it.
Yeah, I was actually looking forward to this fight. I was just familiar with both fighters, of course. I did a video on Zhang about a year ago at this point, just speaking on it. It's called The Curious Case of Zhang, and it was mainly because I felt he was in an interesting spot being on the older end as far as heavyweights in the sport right now, or those that are kind of between that prospect contender stage. And he put up a great showing as far as I'm concerned, especially in the early part of the fight. He actually had Hrgovic hurt, but Hrgovic, I thought he showed he had some wrinkles to his game as well, and he was able to come back and do his thing. Now, I was scoring it in the actual Fight Night Score system up until about the 7th round, and then I lost track because I had to move around because I was working on another project. And but at that particular time, I had Zhang up, and when the fight was all said and done, I felt that he may have won, but not to the degree of that I think there's some major controversy or anything of that nature, because Zhang did look bad there at the tail end, especially that 12th round. He definitely looked like he was just about done completely. Good thing this wasn't the 15 rounders they were doing back in the day. But I did think it was a fairly entertaining fight. Lasted longer than I thought it would. And I have to give props to both fighters. For Hrgovic, now maybe this offers up an opportunity for him to get one of those big names in the ring. And for Zhang, I think that he's still viable, and there was talk of him potentially doing a fight in China where they could have in excess of 100,000 people in attendance. I think this showing probably helps to push that. And Derek Chisora said he wants to throw his name in the hat, so maybe we'll get that next. So uh, big props to both fighters.
Yeah, I think I've seen some of that actually today on Twitter about Zhang and Chisora in China, possibly. That would be interesting, I guess. I've just got the scorecard, the average scorecard up on there, and indeed it is 6 rounds to 4 to Hrgovic and 2 rounds even. So it shows a razor tight winning margin. That's the closest one I've ever seen, I think, on our system. So it kind of shows that, you know, there's 2 even rounds there that could go either way, and then I guess there's a lot of swing rounds in there. Alex, what were your thoughts on this? Were you impressed with Hrgovic? I think his stock dropped a little bit in this one, I'd imagine.
You know what? That is kind of what I believe with Hrgovic. I actually wasn't really big into him. Then I watched some of his fights because I kept hearing about this new boogeyman in boxing. Hrgovic couldn't get anyone to fight him. Couldn't get, what was it, Joe Parker, Tony Yoka, Luis Ortiz, nobody. And Zhang, you know, from the beginning said, I'll fight him. So this was a fight I was looking forward to, but I was favoring Hrgovic. And I felt he started off really well. I thought his right hand was going to be the difference. And in that first round, it looked as so. And then Hrgovic Zhang hit him with that big hook. And seemed Hrgovic's whole game plan changed. Seemed that it seemed like he didn't even want to be there. He was like looking away. You could see he was on his quote unquote bike. But, you know, it seemed like he really when Zhang started to go a little bit low, Hrgovic turned it up a little bit. Seemed like he went back to his amateur days. And I did have it 6-6. So, you know, six rounds to 6 with Zhang pulling the victory out with the knockdown. But most people that I was speaking with thought Zhang was robbed. But as you see clearly with the scores on Fight Night scores, definitely was a close fight. Could have went either way, and it went to Hrgovic. So I don't see him beating anybody of the top dogs, such as a Wilder, an AJ, Usyk, or Fury. But definitely some other fun fights. And yes, I did hear the talk about Chisora Zhang. I'm down for it as well.
Just as you was talking there, I've just gone into our scoring group, and it looks like there were 6 of us that scored this particular fight, and similar average scores, just narrowing it down to the 6 of us. 6 rounds to 5 and just the 1 even in favour of Hrgovic. And I scored it in favour of Zhang, so I think I might be in the minority there. I noticed that in the chat there, someone said that Zhang got robbed big time. That was Alberto. And I think, what did Boz say? I saw Boz mention something. I think he said he had it a bit wide. And we could see his card right there, 117 to 112. So we can inspect that. Now you join the group, Boz. Well done. All right then, let's move things along. We are already, you know, over half an hour into the stream. Let's get to our fight, shall we? Before we do that, just as a reminder for those that are watching that haven't watched before, or if you're watching in future after this video has been put out, you can join our scoring group on the Fight Night Scores website at fight-score.com. You need to be registered to be able to join groups. Once you are registered or logged in, if you already have an account, you can go to the group section and you're able to join a group using a code. And I think there's also a box at the top of the dashboard when you're logged in to quickly join the group, so you can enter it there as well. So the code is FSYT22. We're always going to use this group for these streams, so that code is going to be the same code every week. And then once you are part of the group, you can go and find the scorecard for our fights, which is Golovkin versus Canelo, number 1, their first fight. You can find that if you go to the controversial fight section, or you can go to the boxers A to Z section and find either boxer and click through to the fight from there. Or you can also enter the URL which is on the screen at the moment, and I also put a link in the description of the video as well. So there are loads of places that you can create this scorecard. You've got no excuses not to. Alex, hopefully you've got us a little intro for this while we get everything set up. So take it away, give us an introduction to this fight.
All right, so let's start with the challenger, Saul Canelo Alvarez, 27 years old. He's entering the fight as the Ring Magazine middleweight champion, which he won from Miguel Cotto a few fights before. Since his lone loss to Floyd Mayweather, he's 7-0 with 4 KOs. Entering this fight, 49 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 34 KOs, and the Ring has him ranked number 7 pound for pound in the world. Cool. Now on to the champion, Gennadiy Triple G Golovkin, 35 years old. He enters the fight as the IBF, the WBA, the WBC, and the IBO middleweight world champion of the world. Actually has 18 defenses of any version of his titles. Was on a 23-fight KO streak before he had a unanimous decision against Danny Jacobs. He's 37-0, 33 knockouts, number 2 in the Ring's pound for pound.
Excellent. That perfectly sums it up. Thank you very much. Hopefully everyone's found a scorecard. I'm just having a quick look in the comments. Anything people want to say. What's the group number? Josh, do you need to find the group number? I think you're already joined, so you don't need to enter it anyway. Yeah, I think we can just jump straight into it. Hopefully everyone's got the scorecards ready. I've got mine on my phone just to make it easier. And I believe that you boys should be able to see the fight on our call. The fight is on screen on the live stream, and we're going to go straight into the action. No intros or entrances. I'm looking forward to this. I don't think I've watched it since the actual live fight, and it was a great fight.
Here we go.
This is the one fight which still divides people so much on Twitter. I still see to this day people arguing over this fight.
Man, first thing you notice is Canelo's side-to-side movement. I don't think I recall him ever doing that in a fight. Look at that. See, Max, he's almost as smart as me.
Almost, but not quite. I just want to check. Josh, are you still with us? Not heard your voice for a little while.
Yes,
Good man, good man.
Sorry, yeah, I was getting my stuff set up here so I can score. Sorry.
I just thought you were laser focused, to be honest.
Yeah.
That too.
He's like that judge from last night that scored it to Joshua.
Yeah, not that focused.
So it's a little bit cagey so far. Yeah, they've started exchanging a bit.
Yeah, this will be interesting. I've scored this twice, and both times I had it a draw, so I'm going to see if anything has changed.
Oh, okay. Pretty sure I scored it to Golovkin by a couple of rounds first time round, and I think in fact that when we look into the group that will, sorry, I'm just going to turn that down. when we see in the group, we might see my previous scorecards on this, and anyone else that has scored it that's in the group.
You know, it's funny you see that they have those punches there, and I just feel like the ones that Canelo have landed have been a little more eye-catchy.
Agreed.
Canelo just looks so comfortable, and I mean it's crazy because we all remember Triple G's his reputation as this killer, this guy that was stopping people in sparring, and kind of like what I mentioned with Hrgovic, you know, people did not want to fight Triple G. They said no, 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 thanks.
Yeah. Just gonna go switch up the video for a second while they go between rounds. Yeah, I'm getting some notifications about copyright issues, so just need to be a bit cautious about how long I'm displaying this video. So we'll try and sneak our way around it, because that's what we do. So yeah, there's looks like I might have removed a previous scorecard that I've previously had in my account. I'm sure I would have used the system, but it's not in place there on our group, so who knows.
It's okay if you've never scored it.
I definitely did at the time. I remember that much.
Oh, I forgot to mention this fight is September 16th, 2017. And, you know, everyone knows about the May date and the September date. Those are around Mexican, quote-unquote, holidays.
Yep.
This is September 16th is Mexican Independence Day.
Oh yeah, definitely Canelo dates.
Well, they were Mayweather dates before, as we all remember as well.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Both hit each other at the same darn time. I think their reach is the same, which is really interesting. I definitely forgot how fluid Canelo looked in the beginning of this fight. Triple G just cannot land that left hook, huh? Canelo's seen it every time.
Yeah, Canelo certainly looks very comfortable right now.
And one thing to point out is Canelo's giving him different looks. I mean, he used his footwork in the first round. You know, now he's doing a high guard. He's countering. He's leading. That's a lot to take in.
We got 25 seconds left of the round. Canelo leading with the power punches.
Look at that. Counters the jab. Then Triple G comes with the right hand. He counters him with a uppercut. That's beautiful work. Especially against a big puncher. Like, that's just not easy. I think that was a very clear Canelo round.
Yeah, I'll go with that. So I think take a pause in a minute and let's have a look at some scorecards side by side, just so that we can kind of hopefully clear away from this warning I'm still getting. No. The stream has stopped. Okay, I think we are back. So we're going to try and continue. And we'll see how we go. I think if we get another warning coming up, then maybe we might just have to kind of watch it with a little bit of audio but no video, and hopefully people can find the actual video and watch it on their end and kind of keep in sync with us. Who knows? We'll do our best, but that's the situation we're facing. Let's continue and see how we go. So just while they're getting set up, I've not added my next score, but I gave it to Alvarez.
I'm good to go. Same here.
So let me just hit a quick pause. We'll just keep this view up. So a couple of us have it 2 rounds, well, most of us have it 2 rounds to 0 to Alvarez, and it looks like Boz has given it a round to each man. So I think after the next round we can do some comparisons. I guess we will have to keep flicking between the video and our other screens. Okay, here we go.
Hey, there's a hook. Good job, Triple G.
Uh-oh. Seems like it went out.
Yep.
On the main page.
Hello, I think we are back. We obviously this isn't really going to happen. We're not going to be able to actually show the fight itself. So unfortunately, we're just going to have to watch the fight independently. Hopefully, you'll be able to find this video. In fact, I will send a link in the description if you want to open this up in another tab, if you're on a computer or whatever. We are at currently 29 minutes and 50 seconds or thereabouts. We'll have the audio on very, very low and we're talking over it, so hopefully that doesn't pick up again. But yeah, you should be able to find the video, watch it in tandem with us and score along still, and we'll just have to describe what we're seeing. Unfortunately, that's just going to be how it is for this stream at least. So we will continue. We are at 29 minutes and 53 seconds exactly, sorry, and that is 1 minute and 54 seconds left of round 3. So we're going to hit play in 3, 2, 1, go. Right. Hopefully we continue without any more interruptions. Apologies. So I think we're going to have to do some proper commentary now, boys.
Oh yeah.
You see there in the middle of the ring, Canelo's still with that nice high guard. But it seems he may have slowed down just a wee bit.
Yeah. Looked like Golovkin caught him there with a nice hook. Made him think about it.
Oh,
But,
nice leaping Triple G leg hook. That
yeah,
was
that was nice.
cool. Never seen him do that before.
Noticing though, Canelo's now kind of staying on the front foot. He's not moving away, circling anymore like the previous rounds.
Mm-hmm. That was a nice lead uppercut.
That was nice, yeah. I think Golovkin's landing the sharper and more eye-catching shots in this one.
It's funny, Triple G was known as a big body punch, big body puncher, and in this fight hasn't landed one. Canelo has 14 already by the third round. Ooh,
good point.
wow.
Yeah, that was a nice
That was
shot.
a hard landed shot by Triple G. That looked like, what, near the midsection, right?
Yeah.
So I guess there's one.
Just as you said, no body shots, and then he unleashes one. I just hit the mute button by accident there. Drop my phone.
Get this scoring. Towards the end of that round, Canelo was definitely starting to use the feet again. And you had mentioned, Jim, that he was kind of standing there.
Yeah, he changed it up, and then he reverted back to that. Okay, well, obviously we've lost a little bit of time with the pauses, so we'll continue on for a couple of rounds, and then we'll inspect. Well, I've just refreshed. I'll forgot that the average scorecards are now on the screen, so I'll bring it down to these last couple of rounds.
Oh, that was a nice jab by Canelo.
Oh, I'm gone. Got a bit of a. My internet is buffering, I think, now.
No worries. There was 22,358 in attendance to this fight. So that's very big for Vegas. Normally
Definitely.
they get about 18K.
Yeah, I remember this being highly anticipated. I was so looking forward to it myself. I had a shirt and everything.
You had a shirt.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Buying merch.
What's wrong with having a shirt? Shirt's big time, man. I had
I didn't know.
a Canelo Yildirim shirt, so hi.
Oh, okay. So you can just pick them up, can you? You don't have to be at the fight and buy it from the fight or anything like that.
Yeah. This was more so. This was like a custom one someone did.
Okay.
Someone who Drake's art or something of that nature. And he had some Triple G Canelo shirts leading up to this fight. So I was like, we can get one. I was representing big fight.
Seems that Triple G has made an adjustment to Canelo's right uppercut. It's not really letting it land anymore. He's seeing the punches a lot better, and he's walking Canelo down too. Got Canelo on the ropes. Canelo is saying he's going to sit here and play defense, which is a very weird thing to do against a monster puncher.
Yeah. Shaking at the head. Going with him in.
You think Canelo's taking a break?
Oh, no.
I think it might be a little bit of that.
I just clicked a button. Sorry, boys. This is turning into a nightmare. Where were we up to?
We were in round 4, probably somewhere within that last minute.
We'll look for him on the ropes. That's round 5. There we go. We'll go from here. Sorry about that. This has been atrocious.
All right, so yeah, we're about minute 17 left.
Yeah, timestamp. Yeah, 1 minute 12, 1 minute 11, 1 minute 10 of round 4 left. So everyone can kind of sync with us. Apologies for that. It's me being trigger happy on the mouse.
You see there, Canelo just threw a throwaway jab. You saw he wasn't trying to land it at all to try to get that body shot with the right hand. That was interesting. Definitely when the fight's in the center of the ring, seems Canelo's doing the better work. But as soon as we get, more towards the corner, obviously, with that stick Triple G has favoring him. Nice counter right.
I think what we can do is if people are ahead of us in time, if you just pause it before the very start of round 5, we can kind of sync up at that stage and we can do a countdown. That should work.
Triple G on the front foot. He was definitely backing up Canelo this round.
I think you just summed up what the input should be there. Good call, Josh. Because, with all my faffing around, kind of missed half of that one. All right, there's 30 seconds left before the start of the next round. We will go to the end of round 5, and then we'll have a look at the average scorecard. Does that sound all right, boys?
Sounds good to me.
Good to go.
All right, we're underway. For those that might have paused, sorry. Oh man, we'll get our shit together for the next stream, I promise.
You see there, Canelo's not giving much head movement, just walking straight back to the ropes. Oh, there's a little bit of head movement. Look, right back. That's so weird. What a strange thing to do. I mean, you have to say that all that movement Canelo was doing those first couple of rounds, he was bound. It doesn't seem in his nature to move like that. That he would have to change during the fight. Oh, that was a nice little counter jab by Triple G. Who do you guys think is the stronger man between these two?
It's pretty even, isn't it? I mean, Canelo's just so stocky, but Golovkin's obviously got that power, and he must have some natural strength to him as well.
Agreed.
Yeah, I may give the slight edge to Triple G.
Yeah.
He had spent more time at the weight. Of course, I feel now Canelo is very much into it, into the middleweight division, or synced in for 168 now. But at this particular time, I believe Golovkin would have been the stronger of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a nice shot. That was definitely Triple G.
Maybe that's why Canelo started eating more meat. in between the fights.
Yeah, definitely.
And I mean, Triple G's just. I mean, he unloaded a huge right hand on Canelo earlier. Canelo keeps shaking his head no as he's taking like big punches.
I mean,
That's really interesting.
there's
They
the odd
have
one.
Canelo as the advantage and the punches landed.
There was the odd one that kind of got through there, but he didn't miss a lot of them.
Gotta take that comfy box with a grain of salt
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah, true.
Just someone there with a clicker.
Yep.
I mean, for me on that
was a
one,
triple dream round without a doubt.
Yeah.
And, comfy box, yeah, regardless of what the comfy box says right there.
well, that's true because even though all them numbers kind of favoured Canelo, my reason is that Golovkin was just a lot more active in that round. You can't really just sit back on the ropes and not do anything. Alright, we'll take a pause in a second. We'll just let the fight get to the start of round 6. We'll pause and we will take a look at some scorecards.
Just behind the ear, but man, that was
It's
powerful.
a nice shot. And then
Shot
he
like that
shakes his
dropped
head.
Hrgovic.
Right, the bell just rang. That's for round 6. Everyone take a bit of a pause. We'll just have a quick look. Let's go into the groups. Kind of gone a long way around here. Okay, so I can see 48-47 for everyone apart from Boz, who's got it 49-46. Let's compare his and Josh's card. Why not? Let's put him under the microscope. So the first round was different. It was a Golovkin round for Boz, and Josh gave it to Canelo. But then it looks like they've agreed on the other round since then. And yeah, and they had the exact same score for that 5th round. The exact same score, the exact same percentage, and the exact same reason.
Learning well there, Boz.
Yeah, looks like you're doing well, boss. Let's have a look at the combined average. And if we go into, well, if we just pause on round 5. Well, let's go from the top. So round 1 to Alvarez as a combined collective, and round 3, 4, and 5 to Golovkin. All fairly, close-ish rounds, apart from that second one, which a bit more heavily towards Alvarez. But in the grand scheme of things, it was still pretty close, only a 10% swing even that way. But yeah, I'd say, it's pretty close, all of these rounds. There's none of them are taking a huge lead. So yeah, let's carry on. If you are paused at the very start of round 6, let's start back in 3, 2, 1. Play.
And how close those percentages are seems to be a bit controversial to me, but I thought those last 2 rounds were clear Golovkin rounds.
That was a nice right. And then again, Golovkin just landed. I guess with the percentages, it's all about how the person interprets it, as long as they're consistent with it, I guess.
Maybe we just have some Adelaide birds in there.
Yeah, there is that.
Yeah.
Did she use fight night scores that night, maybe? Just had it filled out beforehand?
Interestingly, this fight was the very first night that Fight Night Scores had a login section. This was the fight where I launched it.
Ah.
So I've been developing for a couple of months, and originally it was just like a standalone page where you could manually enter your 2 fighters, and then I just this was literally the launch night for the system where it was, more automated, where I actually input the fights that were coming up, and people could click into it and create an account and stuff like that. This was the perfect fight to launch it because of the controversy.
Most definitely. Here we are on the ropes again.
Yeah, it seems like the rounds are mirroring themselves a little bit. There's a sneaky little
Canelo
backhand.
behind the back punch.
Ref's not,
Adrian Browner style.
yeah, ref's not going to see me.
Hey, yeah. Now that I'm remembering, I gave a lot of middle rounds to Golovkin. We'll see how things continue.
Yeah, it's easy to see why, because he's the one that's gone on the front foot. He's trying to make things happen. And he's more defensive, isn't he? He's kind of back on the ropes, trying to make him miss and counter, but not being very effective.
Sorry, they cut you off. Kind of reminds you of Canelo versus Bivol in terms of him trying to figure out how to engage with Bivol, and in doing so, he found himself on the ropes in that fight.
Yeah, it's a good comparison, that, to be fair. I mean, there's some fleeting nice bits of work from Canelo, but I don't think he's undoing Golovkin's kind of come forward pressure for me. Just a quick look in the chat. Alberto's saying that CompuBox is a joke, manually and prone to many errors. That's true. CompuBox isn't the be all and end all.
That was a little bit of a closer round than the last couple, but I still gave that one a Triple G with that come forward pressure.
Yep.
Throwing the stick out there and unleashing, hard punches. Canelo did throw some nice left hook counters to Triple G's right hand, though.
Yeah, I go along with that one. We're just 20 seconds away on the countdown to round 7. Hopefully people are all in sync.
Hey, Triple G, stop punching me so much. Thanks.
So that round 6 on our average scorecard, Golovkin takes it. 10-9, 53.57% to 46.43%. Are them percentages all right, Alex? Please give us your approval. The wider than the previous 2 rounds, which you said were wider, so I don't know what's going on.
I'm confused. I need to go back to boxing school. See Canelo trying to find his feet more, trying to be a little more bouncy, and then he says, you know what, I like these ropes.
That was a nice
left hook.
Yeah,
it
was
seemed
nice.
like Triple G felt it. Man, what chins these guys have. I mean, I'm sure we all know, we've all talked about it with, everyone we know within boxing, but Jesus Lord, they've been hitting each other with some serious leather.
Without a doubt.
Well, I know
I'm giving the edge to Alvarez so far within halfway through the round.
Yeah, to go with that. I was just going to say back to the chins at this stage. Golovkin was noted, wasn't he, as a, just a tough guy that you just cannot stop from coming forward and battering you. Was Alvarez given props for his chin at this stage of his career?
He never faced a puncher besides Kirkland, and Kirkland didn't really touch him, so this was definitely something to put, feather on the cap, I guess you could say. Like, all right, the chin, it's certified now.
Yeah. Again, this is familiar territory again. You know, Golovkin stalking, Canelo backing up to the ropes.
You think he missed that right hand? I think he did. I think Canelo got the way of that last
He
one.
at least took the sting out of it, doesn't he? If it did land slightly.
Yeah, he's turning with a lot of punches in this fight.
Ooh,
nice
what
body
a
shot.
counter right uppercut, man. It seems like you're going to go with the quality of Canelo versus the activity of Triple G in this round.
Yep, story of the fight right there.
Yeah, very good shout, and you know that makes it a swing round, really, doesn't it? What you prefer? It was pretty even.
Score in. Interesting fact, this is Triple G's first fight in Nevada, the state of Nevada. 37 fights in, first time in Nevada.
Okay.
Follow me for more interesting facts.
Where had he previously fought then? Was it just over in the East Coast or something?
California mostly.
Oh, California.
He did headline in New York. I think it was the Macklin fight. Had a couple fights in Monaco, if you remember.
Okay.
He fought Martin Murray, I think, in Monaco, or was it the UK?
I don't recall. That's a nice little shot, right? This round started quite quick. Canelo's not backtracking as much now. That was a nice right hook.
And this is where he should remain. It seems he just has way more success, but you know, with that jab, you trying to avoid it. Oh, nice two little, you know, two piece to the stomach by Canelo. And the thing is, Triple G, he'll pull straight back sometimes whenever Canelo's coming forward. Oof. Nice right hand by Triple G.
Nice trades.
So staying in the center of the ring, and I think it's been pretty even so far.
I think we've got half the round left. It's definitely up for grabs still. Head's coming in closer. Missed uppercut that, but I think it looks more competitive when it's like this, when Canelo's not backtracking.
As he's doing now.
As he's started to do a little bit. But he's just turned it.
Nice hook, and was able to escape.
But again, now he's creeping back again. But that's just that relentless pressure of Golovkin, isn't it? He was always a come forward, stalking fighter.
Oh, nice by Canelo with his defense. Now you see that jab, it's funny, that jab, it just lands like, you know, just every now and then, just bam, 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 bam.
Oh, nice uppercut there.
Definitely had those ebbs and flows in this fight, and you're seeing that play out for sure.
It's a nice little jab there as well.
Yeah, I was just about to say. Triple G like, nah.
He just missed a few there, and he's caught him again with a right. Yeah, this is better work from not Golovkin, Canelo, sorry.
Those wonderful punch stats. I have a 19-10 advantage for Triple G, and I just didn't see that. But it was a lot of jabs. Triple G was landing.
Good round. Good action. So I'm thinking we'll get to round 10 before we have a pause for another look at the stats, and we'll compare some with scorecards. Just wary of time. We've been going for over an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh, Jesus. Did I replay that uppercut, and that was sick.
Beautiful.
I would want him arrested for assault after that.
People in the chat, if you're still watching and scoring along, let us know how you're scoring these rounds.
I actually have it as a draw, 4-4 each.
Yep. Same here. What are you saying, Josh? You being secretive this week?
Oh, I actually have Triple G up.
Okay. So that'd be 5-3, I guess.
Oh, look, he did that Marco Rubio hook. Oh, nice uppercut.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, but nice. Oh, man, this is what we talk about. We've been waiting for this. Come on, guys. There you go. Spicy.
Mixing in some great combinations there from Canelo. Triple G bouncing back with him as well.
That was just a staple of Triple G's mentality, wasn't it? Land big on him, but he just doesn't give anything. He doesn't step back. He just comes back, right back at you. He's an absolute beast.
That Soviet right hook, right and left hook, I think that's what they call it. You can see Triple G using that technique.
Seen some good work from Triple G the last 30
Oh,
seconds.
that was a big right. That's the big shot of the round. That's the decisive one so far. We've still got half the round to go.
I'm leaning Canelo, but I think one big shot by Triple G, it's right back towards him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'd go with that.
They both have beards on them without a doubt because they can take some big shots.
Remember, at this time, Canelo was known for gassing out, so what's going on? Okay. But so yeah, just something to keep an eye out as this round progresses, because he used a lot of energy in that first minute and a half. Seen his hands down, he's just walking back.
Yeah, looks like he's conserving energy a little bit.
Well, Gennadiy really wanted to land that right hand. You saw those little 3 straight short ones.
Yeah, Canelo's doing a good job of making a lot of those shots miss. Some get through, but he has a good movement.
Yeah, visually it looks like Triple G is getting the better of it, but like you said, he's doing smart little things with his upper body, his head, turning with stuff. Interesting round. It's a great round.
That's a nice little combo.
Nice.
Yeah, this is a tough one, actually. 10 seconds left. They both had their moments.
Man, this is a tough one.
Yeah.
I'm trying to process everything. But you know what? It was that big right hand for Canelo for me. That's what I'm gonna go with.
Yeah, that's the one that lasts in the memory.
Very competitive round. You could go either way. If you want to do a 10-10, maybe.
I was close. I've not done it. I was close.
Oof. Oh, yeah, I remember that hook. Jesus, look. You see Triple G's eyes, man. They definitely were shaking. Lazy jab gets countered by a big right. See, he didn't really turn that jab well. Kind of had the elbow bent, and that's what you get. Kind of like what happened in Brandon Lee's fight last night, if anyone caught it.
I've not seen that. I believe he did get clocked, but he survived and then got the win.
me tell you, never been a fan of Harold Letterman's scorecards.
It's quite a wild one.
Always liked the aggressive fighters. So at least you knew what it was with him.
Yeah.
This is good work from Canelo. Oh, has he staggered him a bit there?
Yeah, I think, yeah, that definitely hurt.
Yeah, great give and take from both.
I mean, you see that jab, man. That jab, you could just tell it just so freaking heavy. Nice right by Canelo. How no one went down in this freaking fight, huh?
No, they're really throwing them there, aren't they? Putting everything into it.
Yeah, last round and this round just really unloaded on each other. Just you can just see they got comfortable with what they were doing and what the other one was doing as well. You know, I'm definitely appreciating Canelo's work a lot more than when I originally watched this fight. Sorry about that, Jim.
That's all right. I was going to say the jab again. It's just from this close angle, you can just see what's on it and how much it digs in.
Yeah, it pops his head every time.
Yeah.
Look at those hands down. It's aggravating. So come on, man. Put your hands up. You got this big puncher in front of you, but big balls by Canelo, man.
I've got a minute left in the round. This is another tough one. Canelo started well, but then he's kind of just not done much in the last 45 seconds or so.
Similar to the last round.
Alberto says that jab should be counted as a power punch. I agree with that. It is a ramrod. Canelo eat them all like Cheerios. He must have had his breakfast that day.
Excellent work from Triple G there.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely finishing well.
Oh, this is great stuff.
It's the most Canelo's looked tired thus far.
I don't know how to score that one.
Can we rewatch it, please?
Oh, no. Right, I'm going to take a pause. Dead on the 1 hour mark of that video in particular. If you are watching along with us, take a pause. Let's just get some scores in. Shit.
I still haven't put mine in. I'm sorry. I'm trying to process all that. Damn, how do they do it sometimes, huh?
Come on, Vega. We're waiting for you. I'm refreshing.
All right, I put it in. Felt the pressure there.
Good. Oh, wow. There's a... Okay. This is interesting. So, things are swung. So, it looks like me and Vega have both got Canelo ahead. Just in my case. Nice. But everyone else is now leaning towards Golovkin. So we've got a 96, 94 from Josh. Boz got it 98, 92, and so has Alberto, both from the chat. Thank you, boys, for taking part. So they've got pretty wide scorecards for Golovkin. So that's why they're going to be outraged at the end of this fight. I'll confess, Alex, I've just scored that last round a draw.
I don't blame you. Hey, listen, man. I guess I should retract my 10-10 hate.
I mean, I can see you've left it at 50-50, but you've edged that one to Alvarez. And, you know, I was on the verge of going with Canelo myself, but I put a draw in there just because I can. Let's have a look at Josh's. Oh, I've pressed the wrong button. We can see all your scorecards there, Josh.
Cool.
Yeah, so you got Golovkin, Alvarez, Golovkin in the last 3 rounds. You've got 6-4 to Golovkin. Pretty cool. This is so this kind of shows, you know, we're not too dissimilar to the judges in that we're all over the place here. So was it really that controversial? Well, I guess it was just because of that one scorecard. But we'll find out at the end. I've just pressed play for those that are following on. We're at 1 hour and 10 seconds, 11 seconds, 12 seconds. So sync up with us, and there's 30 seconds left between the rounds.
Oh, if anyone remembers, Canelo did not pay the sanctioning fees for the WBC and the smaller IBO belts. If anyone remembers, Canelo dropped the WBC belt because they ordered him to fight Triple G, and that's not within normal boxing rules. They just don't. They don't. You don't order a champion to fight another champion. And he was the interim WBC champ. I forgot which fight that was. I think against Rubio somehow, some way.
Mm-hmm.
With him already holding the WBA belt. I mean, was it WBA? I'm sorry.
Oh, that was a nice right there. He just landed a few seconds ago, Canelo.
There's 2 reasons when you put your hands down. Either you think you are super slick or you are tired. Oh, that was low. I think it's been 3 straight rounds where he had a great first minute.
Yeah.
Oh, I think the video might have just kind of done a weird cut there. I'm not sure.
Yeah. It did.
But I don't think we lost any time, so we're already halfway through the round. Championship rounds.
I mean, come on. This jab is just so funny to me. Like, it lands, no one reacts, but it's like, damn. It's like maybe we got stale to it. Nice right hand.
That was a nice
Canelo.
right, yeah. Nice combination there as well. I think you're right though. Just the fact that it's a jab, and people are just dismiss it, don't they? Really.
Yeah,
But
certainly sharp.
Give him a different look there.
So we've got a minute left of this round. What we thinking, fellas?
Canelo.
Canelo's pacing himself a bit better this round.
But he just needs to not kind of sit back and stop his activity now. Done some good work otherwise. Oh,
Big right hand.
beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
Nice uppercut. They didn't put too much into it, but still, clean hit.
Canelo seemed to be pretty aware, and when his back touches the ropes in this round, he's moving quickly.
Oh.
Nice left hook by Golovkin there.
That looked at his foot on that hook, huh?
Yeah, I was just gonna say it looked like it lifted him off his feet a bit. I mean, is
Was
that the
it
one?
enough to win the round? That's the question.
Yeah, considering it.
Not sure.
Yeah.
Does that undo all of that good work from earlier? Man, that's tough. I don't think so.
I agree.
I would ask for a pencil. It's like, yeah, don't give me no pen. I got to think about it. Maybe turn my 9 to a 10. To change it back.
Hey, you can edit your scores. Just click on the row, man, and it pops it back up. I think if this system was ever released for judges, I might disable that feature so there's no shenanigans. Or at least it'll track it to show edits.
Last round, guys.
That's gone pretty quick, considering we've had a few glitches along the way. Since we've restarted, it's... Oh, that's beautiful. So, Lederman's card, what was that, 107, 102?
Yeah, Canelo's not slacking in this round. He understands the stakes, both do really, so.
I'm just shocked with my scorecard.
I'm just checking what have I got.
Canelo's doing a great job of pulling that, sort of like a pull counter, but he's landing that right uppercut when Triple G comes in there. Nice.
Nice work again. This doesn't feel like the first time I watched it.
Right. I felt like it was clearly Triple G in there.
Yeah.
Like I said, I can't believe my scorecard right now.
Yeah, I never felt it was a clear Triple G one. I think I'm going to end up with the same scorecard I always get.
It was a spoiler earlier.
It's crazy.
I mean, there are quite a lot of these rounds that there are swing rounds.
Yes.
That's nice work from Golovkin on the front foot.
Is this gonna be, the battle of two half rounds? Watching this fight, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Bacon.
I was gonna ask, watching this fight, if you were thinking like, okay, if they rematch, who has the most room to improve?
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, you'd say it had to be Canelo because he was still fairly young. Golovkin, while younger, he was definitely, he was already top of his division, setting his ways. This is what he did to everyone, but usually he'd break him down and bash him up.
Yeah, and I think, there were questions as to how Canelo would hold up to his punches. You have to think that he gained a bit more confidence having gone through 12 rounds with him and being able to withstand the best.
Oh, that's just relentless at the end. Oh, man, that's tough. It's a tough one to score. But I was saying, this is a huge robbery. The most I could give Canelo is 4 rounds. I'll give him 3 with 1 even. 9th was very close too. I don't think we could describe it as a huge robbery. I mean, me and Alex have been making the case for Canelo up until this point, and I don't think we've been too off the mark. So we'll wait for the official scores. Might actually wind it on a bit because they probably take forever, don't they? But I need to enter my score still for this last round.
Nice combination.
Okay, we'll have a listen to these scores and then we will have a look how we all fared.
I was at the bar watching this fight with about 3, 4 of my friends, and we all left thinking, all right, that's a clear Triple G win. You know, Canelo did good, but Triple G definitely was the better man on this night.
No, I'm gonna have to forward this on.
I guess that was a sign of the controversy right there, just the time in between.
Yeah.
After 12 rounds of boxing, Adelaide Bird scores it 118 to 110 for
Now
Canelo.
that was absolutely insane.
Moretti scores it 115, 113 for Triple G. And Don Trella scores it 114, 114, a three-way split. This is officially a draw.
Yay, what everybody goes to boxing events to see.
And there we go. We'll end that on the booing. Brilliant. Okay. Yeah, that was certainly different to I remember scoring it at the time. I've just got up our scores now for us all to see. I've got it 115 to 114 for Canelo. Joshua's reverted to type as he always scores it, 114 each to draw. Boss has got it 117, 112, and then even wider Alberto's got it 117, 111, and Alex has got it the opposite direction. He's gone full bird and got 112, 116 to Canelo.
116, 112. All right.
So, if we look at the combined average, we'll go down to the last several rounds. Razor tight round 8 in Golovkin's favour. The main reason being more active. There was a significant punch in round 9 that favoured Alvarez. Alvarez again took round 10. That was a full 10% swing, a little bit wider. And again in round 11, and he also won. Oh no, sorry, round 11 to draw on the combined scorecard. Okay, and then round 12, Alvarez again. So the combined scorecard is 115 to 114 to Golovkin, 6 rounds to 5, and then that one even. So make of that what you will. Look at them percentages there, winning margin, very, very, very close. So I don't think it's a robbery as such. I think there's enough swing rounds there for it to go one way or the other. But I think the huge controversy is just that ridiculous scorecard that Adelaide Bird produced that I think has caused absolute uproar for many years, and I think it's made Canelo a bit of a villain when maybe it wasn't necessarily deserved. What do you think?
No, I agree. I think maybe if that scorecard wasn't as it was, then it would be a lot more accepting of the draw. So, stuff like that matters because it's like, now I think you feel like, man, you got to give the other guy credit because the odds were stacked against him. In regards to Triple G in this particular matchup. It's like, how is he ever gonna beat that scorecard? He could have knocked him down 3 times, and it might have been a draw still.
Just looking at some of the comments on the chat, Kaiser Cobra's tuned in. Thanks for coming along, Kaiser. It's good to see you, mate. You said he watched this not long ago, had it 7-5 Triple G. Could see 8-4 and 6 all, but not the way Don Trella had it. I think Boz is outraged. That happens most weeks. Alberto says 112, 116 is cringy, Alex. they're not happy with you.
Hey, I guess I should be a boxing judge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you found your calling, man. Oh man, the dog's going crazy. You can probably hear that in the background.
The dog's trying to say it's an outrage.
Yeah, I think
So-
the dog's having a go at you there as well, Alex. Even she knows. All right, fantastic stuff. Okay, I think because we've had the technical issues, and I've also not really put together what's coming up in future. We'll have a quick look at Box Rec, and then we will wrap it up for this episode. Let me just get Box Rec up. So I'm really not that prepared this week. What's on the upcoming fixtures? Does anyone know off the top of their heads? Or am I gonna
Pedraza versus Comey. I think that is next weekend. And the return of the real big baby, Jared Anderson.
The
the real big baby? I've just seen there quickly on this on the schedule. Murat Gassiev fights on Friday. That's a name that we've not seen for a while.
He's a heavyweight now, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Inactive, but he's fighting in Belgrade is that Serbia, which is interesting. So I had quite high hopes for him coming up because he gave. Did he fight Usyk?
He must have. Yes, I think he fought him in Russia.
I'm sure he gave him a good fight, and he was always a decent fighter. And I really don't like the new Box Rec.
You, me, them,
ordering.
us.
So I'm down on Friday. Don't care. Friday. Let's go to page 2. So about this, folks, should have been way more prepared.
I mean, come on. KSI versus Swarms and the other guy. That's a big fight, right?
Oh, is that next weekend?
Wow.
Shit.
Wow, looking forward to that one.
Everybody-
Pay-per-view as well.
Everybody drop what you're doing.
I'll tell you this, on the Pedraza Comey undercard, we have what's his name? I'm so sorry. Tiger Johnson.
I've just got
US
this
like
now.
Olympian. Abdullah Mason. He's a big time prospect. I believe he was like 19. Keyshawn's brother, Kelvin Davis. He's like a 6'1" or 2 welterweight. So there's a couple names on there.
Yeah, solid prospects there. I like how Tigers look thus far, as well as Abdullah Mason. He looked pretty good in his last fight. He was outboxing this boxer / MMA guy, and he ended up pushing him after the fight. He was so outraged that the fight got stopped, but he was getting tagged up, so it is what it is. And I think that Comey Pedraza is a pretty solid matchup stylistically, so I'm kind of looking forward to that one.
Can see a Jagber's on the undercard.
Oh yeah. Has he fought since he lost to Frank Sanchez?
No, this is his
recall.
this is his return bout by the looks of it. So I guess that's just a kind of a confidence builder.
Yeah. I think that Sanchez fight showed that there's still a bit of growth needed there if he's expected to make any waves at the top level. I guess the power can take you so far, but you're still going to be able to, or you'll still need to be able to outskill some of these guys, especially if you're thinking Tyson Fury, of course, Frank Sanchez, Usyk. These are guys that can really box.
Yeah. I'm just having a look at the weekend after.
Liam Smith. I
Liam
believe.
Smith, yeah. Liam Smith is in action. That is on in the UK on Sky. He's against Hassan.
The return of Natasha Jonas.
Yeah, that
Love
stuck
her.
out.
Okay, interesting. Liam Smith is, he's had a couple of decent wins recently since he lost to Kurbanov.
I remember the Jesse Vargas fight, man. I mean, Vargas started off really well, and Liam just chopped him down.
Yeah.
Liam seems to be in pretty good form.
Good display, yeah. Yeah, and he beat Anthony Fowler, who was quite highly touted at one point, and then he suffered a couple of losses.
I remember leading into that. I was thinking that Fowler was the right time for him, and he was going to defeat Liam, but I was very wrong.
Yeah,
Liam's been traveling. Look at some of those sites on there. You know, you see New York. I saw Mexico.
Yeah,
I
Russia.
remember the Russian fight. I believe they said he was robbed in that fight. I heard people believes that.
Yeah, what else is on that weekend? I mean, it's not the most exciting of cards. That one, there's Natasha Jonas. I guess that's kind of a half a bit of a big
super
deal.
welterweight titles, 2 super welterweight titles on the line. She's come up just short. This may be her opportunity to become world champion.
Oh, she won them last time, didn't she?
I thought she lost, actually.
No, she won that fight. I remember. I saw it on the zone.
It was a vacant the last one.
Gotcha.
So, but this one looks like it's a unification. So yeah, huge.
Oh yeah, I missed that last fight actually. I did miss that one.
She fought well against Katie Taylor for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Did a good job. Taylor's had a pretty stiff run these last several fights.
Absolutely.
Also on that card, Dan Aziz, he's a very good prospect. That's quite a good fight actually against Shakan Pitters. Bit of a step up.
I'm not familiar with those two fighters.
I say prospect. He's 32. He's undefeated, 16-0. Got Jose Burton and Reece Cartwright his last 2 wins. So I mean, it's not too bad as an undercard feature. Adam Azim is a very good prospect. He's one to look out for. That's making a bit of a name for himself.
TBA, oh no.
Yep, classic. So that'll be another outing for him. At least he's out regularly. I'm not too sure what else is coming up, really. We'll go back to the schedule and move on a few pages.
Yeah, I think we have a little bit of a lull before the, big storm coming around,
Yeah.
I mean, by the time we do our next stream, there's a fight that same day, which is the Andy Ruiz versus Luis Ortiz. So maybe you like to save it for then?
Yeah, can do.
Oh,
Yeah, but other than that, not too much.
Not too much in the next couple of weeks, so that's fine. I mean, we've had quite a lot going on.
Spend some time with your family, guys. Not so much boxing, all right?
Yeah.
indeed.
All right then. We'll wrap that up here then. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. We're gonna watch the second fight, Triple G, Golovkin, and Canelo 2. Equally as controversial. I kind of remember it being a Canelo win for me personally, but we don't know what we're doing. We don't know what we're doing, as we found out this time. So we'll see how that fares in a couple of weekends' time. Yeah, I think that is it for now then. Everybody have a good rest of your day. We'll see you in a couple of weeks' time. Alex and Josh, thanks again for joining us. Do you want to say goodbye?
All right, always a pleasure. Till
Thank you.
next time.
All right, everyone, peace out.